Deep in the heart of Asia, a silent suffering unfolds. Bears, majestic creatures of the wild, are imprisoned for a single purpose, their bile. Their lives are reduced to cramped cages, barely large enough to turn around in. Imagine a life devoid of sunlight, fresh air, or natural movement. These intelligent animals exhibit signs of severe stress and trauma. Deprived of proper nutrition and veterinary care, many bears suffer from malnutrition and untreated diseases. Their bodies deteriorate under the strain of captivity. This is not a life, it is a living death. The driving force behind this cruelty, bear bile, a digestive fluid produced by the liver, is a coveted ingredient in traditional medicine. While some components of bear bile do have medicinal properties, synthetic alternatives are readily available and equally effective. The demand for bear bile fuels a lucrative industry, particularly in countries like China and Vietnam. Bear bile products, marketed as cure-alls, command high prices, making the trade highly profitable. Despite the lack of scientific evidence supporting many of its purported benefits, the belief in the efficacy of bear bile persists. Tradition, deeply ingrained in cultures, can be a powerful force, even in the face of scientific evidence to the contrary. The irony is that while bear bile is used to treat human ailments, its extraction inflicts immense suffering on the very creatures it is supposed to heal. The methods used to extract bile are as barbaric as they are inhumane. Bears are subjected to excruciating pain and suffering, all for a few milliliters of this precious fluid. One common method involves surgically implanting a catheter into the bear's gallbladder. This open wound, often left to fester, becomes a breeding ground for infection. Another method involves repeatedly puncturing the gallbladder with a needle. This crude and painful procedure, often performed without anesthesia or sterile equipment, puts bears at high risk of infection and internal bleeding. The trauma inflicted on these animals is unimaginable. Bears, sentient beings capable of feeling pain and fear, are treated as mere commodities, their bodies exploited for profit. Across the globe, compassionate individuals and organizations are working tirelessly to end the barbaric practice of bear bile farming. Their mission to rescue bears from a life of suffering and give them a second chance at a life they deserve. Rescued bears often arrive at sanctuaries in deplorable condition, their bodies ravaged by years of abuse and neglect. But with proper care, nutrition, and veterinary attention, many of these bears make remarkable recoveries. These sanctuaries provide a safe haven for rescued bears, allowing them to live out their days in peace and dignity. They offer spacious enclosures, enriched with climbing structures, pools, and natural vegetation, mimicking their natural habitat. Here, bears can finally heal, both physically and emotionally. By raising awareness about the cruelty of the trade, advocating for stronger animal welfare laws, and supporting organizations working on the ground, we can all contribute to ending this inhumane practice. While progress has been made in many countries, bear bile farming remains legal in China, a country with a long history of using traditional medicine. The industry operates under the guise of regulation, claiming to ensure humane treatment and sustainable practices. However, the reality is far from this idyllic picture. China boasts a vast network of bear bile farms, housing thousands of bears. These farms, often shrouded in secrecy, are notorious for their poor conditions and cruel practices. The welfare of the bears takes a back seat to profit. The legalization of the bear bile industry in China presents a significant challenge to ending this cruel practice. The plight of bears on bile farms is a stark reminder of the consequences of human greed and indifference. These magnificent creatures, symbols of strength and resilience, are reduced to commodities, their suffering ignored for the sake of profit and tradition. We can no longer stand idly by while these intelligent and sensitive animals endure a lifetime of pain and confinement. We must demand better, not just for the bears but for ourselves. By supporting organizations working to rescue and rehabilitate these animals, by advocating for stricter animal welfare laws, and by choosing cruelty-free alternatives, we can help create a world where bears are no longer caged and cut open. Let compassion be our guide. The time for change is now.